You have a great column up. I want people to go read it on The Blaze about neutrality. It's one of these things that has driven me crazy for the long time about the right. Most people, in fact, most people watching both of us talk right now have probably uttered words like this in their lives. I wish we would get politics out of education or something along the line. Get politics out of sports. Can we get politics out of education, Auron?
Well, one of the things we have going on is a culture war. And one of the things that the left was able to do, one of the ways it was able to enter into all these institutions like sports, education, all these places, was by arguing for cultural neutrality. It's this liberal notion, and by this I mean classical liberal, not progressive, that you'll be governed by these, very specific institutions, these institutions that are objective, that are run by experts, and they'll come up with all the best policy. They'll be the ones that figure out how to do everything most efficiently, and they won't enforce anyone's morality. But of course, that's not how any of this works. All institutions are following some kind of moral framework, some kind of moral vision, and they will make decisions based on that vision. And when they do so, they will communicate and transmit those values to the people they're overseeing. So whether you're watching sports on TV, or whether your kids are in the classroom, or whether you're sitting in the boardroom at work, whenever you have to live under people who are making decisions according to a certain way of seeing the world, a certain moral vision, you will be impacted by that. So we can hopefully one day get to the point where we have a shared culture where it doesn't feel like politics is being shoved into every one of these things. But in the middle of a culture war, in a situation where people are scrambling for control of every single one of these institutions, they will attempt to shove these politics into everything. And just standing back and saying, well, my team doesn't do that. We don't believe that. We play by the rules of neutrality. The other team doesn't believe that. They do what's necessary to win. And if you continue to just pitch yourself as the team of neutrality, you're always going to lose.
The people we share our culture with want to show 4- and 5-year-olds, well, how to change their gender and things like that. Take a look at this video. I'm sure you've seen it.
And the friend likes to ask the question, are you a boy or a girl? And Nash answers, I'm just a kid.
But kids can be boys or...
They can be boys or girls. Yeah.
Or maybe non-binary.
Yeah. So Nash, just like me, is non-binary. So they aren't sure if they're a boy or a girl. So when people ask them, are you a boy or a girl? Right now they just feel like saying, I'm a kid. They're figuring it out.
Auron, I'm actually not even going to be mean here for once. I'm just going to be very frank. I don't want to share a culture with that person. I don't want to share a country. I don't really want to share a planet, but either way, I don't want my sons to grow up and raise families in a culture where that person has influence. But that person and that way of thinking has a lot. So how does this end? Because there are tens of millions of Americans who think like me. Everyone watching us talk right now looks at that and thinks, okay, we're not living together. How does this end?
Well, progressives, again, knew that neutrality was always bunk. It was a way to enter into the conversation, but their goal was always to remove you from it. I've seen a lot of Christians after some of these sports figures, like the hockey player who recently refused to wear a pride jersey, was viciously attacked by the left. And they say, where is my tolerance? Where's the tolerance I was promised when I extended it to the left in the culture beforehand? And the answer is, it's never coming. You can sit around and demand it, but they never intended to extend it to you. Look, the progressive religion wants to preach the mutilation of children. They want to, inform 12-year-olds on how to change their gender. They want to feed puberty blockers to 8-year-olds. That religion cannot coexist with people who want their kids going to church and learning, about America's founding fathers. These are two competing religions. Progressives realize that, and their indication is that they want to purge those that disagree with them. That's why they viciously attack anyone who has any of these beliefs and try to remove them from power as soon as possible. The truth is, either they're going to expel people who have traditional values and understandings, or they will be expelled from these positions of power. That's all there is to it. These two systems will not coexist. Liberalism cannot mediate this with some kind of neutral institution.